Hi friends, this is Ray. Welcome to my beekeeping channel. I am a certified master beekeeper and I first started keeping bees with my dad over 50 years ago. And today I want to talk about extractors. And as you see in the background, I just got a new extractor. I'm going to show you how it works, do a little unboxing with you, talk about how extractors work and some details about extracting today. So if you're getting ready for your honey flow, let's talk about extractors today. And I got a new toy today. I got the new Max 21 from Hilco Extractor. I want to talk a little bit about extractors. I'll show you my old one, why I upgraded, and let's unbox this thing and put it to work. I'm having a great honey flow this year and realized it's time to upgrade. So I'm going to show you what I got. Maybe it's something for you, maybe you need something smaller. I'm also going to talk a little bit about, in today's video, why you might not need an extractor at all. The way honey extractors work is basically pretty simple. You put the frames in after you uncap them. Uncapping is just removing that outer wax seal that the bees put on the honey when it's ready. And by removing that, it allows the honey to be able to flow out. But it's not going to flow out easily. And so an extractor basically just spins the frame, and the centrifugal force of that spinning motion inside of the extractor slings the honey out of the cells up against the side of the extractor where it runs down and out the bottom. Now you're going to get wax pieces and perhaps some other things that are in there, brood, if you had a little bit of brood in your honey, or maybe some pollen, or maybe some bees that got caught in there by mistake and you have dead bees and all. So after you sling that honey out, you need to strain that honey through a small filter, and that's basically the process of extracting. I have another video coming out real shortly that goes through demonstrating how to extract your honey step by step. Yeah, so while I'm unboxing this, you might be a small backyard beekeeper, and one of the biggest expenses you're going to have in regards to equipment is going to be an extractor. But here's the truth. You probably don't need one, especially if you have, like, I don't know, under 10 hives, 8 hives, 5 hives, or whatever, 2 hives. Some people just want 1 or 2 hives in their backyard. You probably don't need an extractor at all. A lot of people, go ahead and buy one, but here's the truth about an extractor. And I've been keeping bees for 50 years. I started keeping bees with my dad and been extracting honey my whole life. Is you really only use it once or twice a year, especially if you're a really small beekeeper. And there are places that will rent you one that you can borrow from another beekeeper. Sometimes beekeepers for a few dollars, I don't know, $10, $20 a super, something like that, will allow you to use theirs. And believe me, $20 to pay a beekeeper to extract your honey for you is a lot cheaper than buying an extractor like this. But if you've grown, then you probably know the need for one. Oh, the other thing I was going to mention is clubs. Lots of times if you're part of a beekeeping club, the club owns one and you can rent it or use it as a club member as well. So there's other options out there for small scale extracting if you are not ready to purchase one. But as my operation has grown a little bit over the years, and I'm not big by any stretch of the imagination, nor do I want to be or intend to be. I run about 40 hives, and so it looks like this year I'm going to get about 3 supers off of each of those. So that's going to be 120 supers of honey. It's time for me to upgrade to something a little bit bigger. I had an 8-frame extractor. I'll show you a picture of it here, a little video of it. And it's worked great. I've been happy with it. No complaints at all. It's been perfect for me. But when my friend said that he was going to buy the same one that I had, I was like, you know what? Why don't you just buy mine from me and I will get a bigger one, because it's probably time for me to get a bigger one. That's what's in the box. So let's take this box apart and see what we got. There it is. Ta-da! It's all in one piece, which I love. No assembly. Wow, I was not expecting that. This is great. So we have double lids. We've got a little instruction manual. Wash it off before you use it. Make sure I do that. Well, I was going to show you how to put it together, but apparently I don't need to. I just need to unscrew it with a Phillips. That's it. Plug it in and make it go. Tell you what, let's just plug it in right here and play with it a little bit together. One thing about extractors, if you've not used one in the past, is balancing them. Stability is a big issue. And I like to bolt mine down to something heavier to keep it from wobbling. I sometimes put a ballast underneath it. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with this one. A lot of it depends on how wobbly this particular model is. So I'm already familiar with this control panel because it's the same as my other extractor. And it basically has on off. This is your speed here, forward and reverse. Not even sure what these actually are anymore. I can't remember, but anyway, here's the extractor, and yeah, it looks like it's going to be good to go. So let's plug it in and see how it spins. Before I turn it on, you might be wondering, why did I choose this particular model by Hilco? And I'm not getting paid by Hilco, no sponsorship. I've shook John's hand once, maybe twice in my life, but he's always treated me right, and to me that's a big deal. Not that the other companies don't, and there's other good quality extractors out there as well. I think anybody would tell you that, but I just was drawn to the fact that, you know, I've had a couple of times that I've needed warranty repairs on stuff that I've bought, and it's always been taken care of quickly and easily. Other companies do that too, but I don't know. I just like John's hometown kind of feel guy. The quality of everything I bought from him is good, and I've been pleased with it, so I decided to go for it. So let's turn this thing on and see what happens. Very smooth. Speed it up a little bit. Getting no wobble from it at all. Yeah, I think I'm in love. See, I'm at 356 revolutions per minute. I'll be extracting in this tomorrow. Very nice. I know that they did put the motor on the bottom of this particular one. I'll show it to you. That just gives it a lower center of gravity, which I like. I'll show you the one that I'm replacing as well, for whatever it's worth. This is the one that I'm replacing. It took 6 mediums or 3 deeps. It's just small, compact. I put it on a rolling stand with casters, and then this white bucket here, I filled it full of concrete and then put water in it and let it harden. And so that's kind of my ballast on here. But this was a good extractor. I don't think they sell this exact model anymore in Hilco. Let's see what this one is called. And it's just got an Enduro honey extractor, but
All right,
you ready to extract some honey?
Let's do it.
All right, so before you put the top down, what you have to do is put your hand in there and just spin it really fast. This is how you extract honey. You just keep spinning it.
I'm thinking if I do this for 3 or 4 days, maybe it'll all come out.
All right, go ahead and put the top down, and then I'm going to show you the control panel here.
You might want to touch that unless I clean my hands.
Yeah, go ahead and use the bucket. So I have the dial turned all the way down. So press the on-off button in the middle. Okay, and now turn the dial up slowly to about maybe to, you can see how it starts to spin.
Look at that.
So you're at 100. You can actually hear the honey slinging against the sides.
It is. I hear it.
Yeah. So
And you keep that open while you're
that
doing
open.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Should I wait to turn it up until it stabilizes a little bit, or?
Yeah. This is the first time using it, so I'm not as familiar with it. See, it needs something to stabilize those legs.